Alright guys, I'm going to start today's video by reading a tweet I sent out earlier, and here it goes. We teach our traders to sit out the markets when you've had something emotional happen in your personal life. I broke that rule today after a very emotional evening last night, and here's the result. So let me slide over the result for those who don't follow me on Twitter. This is my equity curve for the year. Looks really good, right? Up until today. If you can't tell, that's a pretty good percentage of my gains for the year. Probably 10%, maybe. I don't know. Maybe more. And the only reason I'm showing this and talking about it, well, one, to be fair, I always brag and show my equity curve because I feel like I'm a solid trader and I feel like I deserve to show that. But when something like this happens, it's only right now, right, that I show it. So there you go. I was in those of you that were in chat today. You know, I normally do the pre-market gap play summation, right? I project charts, show you what I'm looking at, talk about why, and I start that 15 minutes before the market opens. Today I didn't, I left the room and then I was getting ready to come back in and do that and got tied up with more crap. And before you know it, it's like 5 minutes before the market opens, I get back in my office. In no mood to do it. I didn't have time to do it. So I said, no pre-market stuff today. And then I just started trading, which to me shows a disrespect from me for how tough trading is. You can't kind of be emotionally messed up, having just gone through something and then jump in and start trading. But I didn't respect it, and I did that. And so that was a huge, ugly day for me. And again, the reason I'm talking about it is to hopefully help somebody else. If you are ever going through something emotional, man, don't turn on your screens. You got to be 100% focused. And I wasn't, and I paid for it. I paid for it dearly. So anyway, let's get to the watch list video here. The SPY, it's still a big range. I mean, look at the daily ranges ever since this nonsense started. Big range again today, closing pretty close to where it opened. But, little bottoming tail here, little bottoming tail here. Maybe we've reached a bottom. I don't know. We'll see. I hate to say something like, but we'll only trade A+ setups as the day unfolds tomorrow, because I didn't do that at all today. I was jumping from this to this to this. I was not emotionally prepared to trade. So anyway, here's what I'm watching tomorrow. MYL. Now they came out with a headline. They're going to ramp up production of, I can't remember the name. Something with a Quinn on the end, right? That is having success against COVID-19. And didn't really jump on that. Closed at 1487, but as often happens, then all of a sudden it runs in after hours and went over 19, right? Went all the way up to here before settling in around 1740. So a potential gap and go tomorrow in MYL. NBY had a huge day. We'll see if we get a follow-through day there tomorrow. It's certainly extended. ATHX. If we break today's high tomorrow, you've got another potential catalyst right to the left of that. So that one's on watch. Teva, another one. Possible, whatever that drug is, with a Quinn on the end, right? Closed at 717, and again, the news came out about this, and Teva never really caught on, and now in after hours, you see it closed at 717, and after hours it went to 810. So, I don't know about you, but to me, that's kind of an aggravating thing about the market, is that you can have a really good stock, and it doesn't move until after hours. Having said that, when you start to see how these things work, they could offer up some nice after-hours opportunities. So something to think about, right? Instead of saying, well, this sucks, they don't run until the market closes, maybe hang out in your office for an hour. See if you can catch a setup, right? Anyway, excuse me, WTRH, meal delivery, kind of a sympathy to APRN. Gapped up huge today, so it sold off, but certainly on watch for tomorrow. It's had a huge run here over the past few days. It's Speaking of APRM, we definitely want to watch this one too. Now, keep in mind, APRM was like $2 a few days ago, and then goes to over 28. Now that's just stupid, right? But you see that a lot in times of crisis. You see things getting way overblown. Unfortunately, it closed well off its lows, or I'd like it more, but certainly we're going to keep, as a day trader, I'm going to keep this one on watch for several days, right? BJ, which is BJ's Wholesale Club, had a huge move, huge 3-day move from 22 to almost, over 31, and a nasty day today. So it already is going to go back on Bounce Watch tomorrow. If you haven't seen the news, wholesale clubs have lines around the building. So it certainly is space to watch. I threw one airline on. All the airlines are beaten senseless. Delta was over 55, 3 weeks ago. Pierced 20 yesterday. I'd certainly want to watch that one. DAL. RH, Restoration Hardware. Again, beaten senseless, was over 250, maybe 3 or 4 weeks ago, and pierced 80 the day before closing up over 90. I'm looking for a possible follow-through day there. Home Builder, KBH, nice reversal today. Pretty strong close. We'll look for a follow-through day on that one. And then a couple more. Cron, pot stock, had the gap down and then it's kind of flagging near a 3-day high. And then Jack, which is Jack in the Box, was about $90 a few weeks ago and just pierced 20 yesterday. Nice bounce today. I'm going to look for a follow-through day on that bounce tomorrow. I'm not in love with this list, but certainly worth watching, and we'll add some gappers to this in the pre-market as well. I'm going to leave it at that so y'all don't hear me cry, and I'll see you in the morning.